Man, if you've been paying attention to NASCAR lately, you can feel it. Something is shifting in the garage right now, and honestly, it is not the kind of thing you can ignore anymore. Because when two of the biggest names this sport has ever seen start going after each other in public, you know we are in a real moment. And what is happening between Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin right now, this is not just another small headline. This is the kind of story that actually tells you where NASCAR is heading. What makes this story so wild is that Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin are not strangers. These two shared the same garage at Joe Gibbs Racing for years. They were teammates. They won races together. They were part of one of the strongest operations in the Cup Series for a long time. And now, they are trading shots in public, and Kyle just made it very, very clear that he is done staying quiet about it. This whole mess started on Monday, April 13th. When Denny Hamlin sat down to record his Actions Detrimental podcast. The episode title was pretty bold. He called it, "Kyle Busch Still Has It." But if you actually listen to the whole episode, it did not really sound like Denny believed that. Not fully. Not honestly. And that is where things started to turn ugly. Hamlin got brutally honest about where Kyle Busch stands right now, and the honesty stung. Let us back up for a second so you can see the full picture. Because this matters. Kyle Busch is a two-time Cup Series champion. He has 63 career wins. That puts him 9th on the all-time list. He is 40 years old. He has been racing in the Cup Series for 24 years, and a lot of people still call him a Mount Rushmore talent, meaning one of the all-time greats in the sport. But 2026 has been a nightmare for him. Through 8 races, Busch is sitting 24th in the points. 0 top 10 finishes. None. And look at his last 4 races. 28th, 21st, 24th, and 25th at Bristol. His winless streak is now more than 100 Cup races long. His last win came all the way back in June of 2023 at Gateway. That is nearly 3 years ago. That is crazy. And here is where it gets even more uncomfortable. Kyle Busch is in a contract year with Richard Childress Racing. He is 40. And right now, there is no obvious place for him to land if things fall apart after this season. People are throwing around ideas like maybe Hendrick Motorsports, where he actually started his Cup career, or maybe Spire Motorsports, but nothing is locked in. So on his podcast, Denny Hamlin decided to say what a lot of people were already thinking, and he did not hold back at all. Clearly, RCR is not good right now, Hamlin said. It is time to be honest about what is going on. I think that he does not know how to get the speed out of the NextGen car on a consistent basis. That is a heavy shot. Hamlin basically said Kyle cannot figure out the current car, and he kept going. There has been flashes of it, Hamlin added. And yes, he won 3 races his first season at RCR. Everyone was guessing. Everybody was guessing at that point. So, in other words, Hamlin thinks those early 2023 wins were kind of a fluke. He thinks the rest of the field caught up, and Kyle just got left behind. Now, to be fair to Denny, he did praise Busch a lot. He called him a Mount Rushmore talent. He said, "I cannot hold the guy's helmet, talent-wise." So, he was not saying Kyle is a bad driver. Not at all. But he also said the struggles go way further back than just RCR. This is not new, Hamlin said. He has struggled for 5 years now. We just have to be honest about our expectations. If you are expecting Kyle Busch to just go back to victory lane on a regular basis, you are kidding yourselves, and you are going to be very disappointed. 5 years. That means Denny thinks the slide started back at their old team, Joe Gibbs Racing, and just got worse once the NextGen car came in. Then Hamlin did something that probably hurt the most. He compared Kyle to his teammate Austin Dillon. If one of them is running last and the other is running 16th, Hamlin said, if Kyle is great like we all believe he is, then he should be 8th. But he was not. Actually, Kyle is only 7 points ahead of Austin Dillon in the standings right now. That is not what a Mount Rushmore talent looks like, and Denny knew exactly what he was saying. Hamlin even threw in something about RCR as a whole team. He said they are middling, not elite, but not awful either. They are not race-winning teams right now. They do not have that pace, but they do not have 30th place pace. That is something that driver and team has a role in. And he wrapped it up with a pretty sad line. I genuinely do not like seeing one of the most polarizing and popular and talented guys in the sport running where he is at right now. Okay, so that was Monday. By Saturday at Kansas Speedway, Kyle Busch had heard every bit of it, and he came ready. Jeff Gluck from The Athletic caught up with Kyle in a media scrum at the track. The second the Hamlin podcast came up, Kyle did not flinch. He went right at him. "If Denny wants to switch cars, I will switch cars with him," Busch said. "Any day of the week, any time. I would love for him to show me that he can carry it better than I can." That is a direct challenge. Kyle is basically saying, "You think I am the problem? Fine. Get in my car and show me what you can do." Because remember, Hamlin is third in points this year. He already won at Las Vegas. He won 6 races last season and finished second in the standings. He has a fast car. Kyle does not. Then Gluck asked Kyle if he pays attention to what people say about him online, and Kyle did not sugarcoat it at all. "I have consumed some of it over time," he said. 80% of people do not know what the hell they are talking about. And then came the line that blew up everywhere. "In this instance, I do not feel like Denny Hamlin even knows what the hell he is talking about. He can bash me all he wants. I can certainly make his life hell." Make his life hell. Let that sit for a second. These two share a racetrack every single Sunday. That sounds a whole lot like a warning shot. And Kyle Busch is not the kind of guy who says stuff like that and forgets about it. So now the ball was in Denny's court, and Hamlin jumped on social media to fire back. "Not really sure what I'm supposed to do," Hamlin wrote on X. "I host a podcast and I have to answer questions about relevant topics. Should I just say, I don't know, everything seems fine to me? Not sure where he felt I bashed. I am walking a damn tight rope here." But here is the tricky part. Hamlin is both a driver and a podcaster. That is a tough spot. Every time he talks about another driver, he has to race that same driver the next weekend. And Kyle Busch is not the kind of person you want upset with you on the track. There is some extra fuel on this fire too. Just last Sunday at Bristol, Kyle got into Riley Herbst with 4 laps to go. Herbst had wrecked him earlier in the race, and Kyle paid him back. NASCAR is not giving him a penalty, but the managing director said he would be having a chat with him about it. So Kyle is already in revenge mode, and that line about making Denny's life hell, it does not feel like just words. Now zoom out, and the picture gets wild. These two guys were teammates for years at Joe Gibbs Racing. Kyle won 56 races and 2 championships with them. Denny is still there, still winning, still fighting for titles at 45 years old. Kyle left after 2022, joined RCR in 2023, won 3 early races, and has basically been stuck in neutral ever since. Kyle has 63 wins. Denny has 61. 2 guys sitting right next to each other on the all-time list, now going in completely opposite directions. One is chasing another championship. The other is 46 points out of the final playoff spot with the clock ticking.